Finally, the Lord Oden flashback is upon us. We're about to get into it. Oden never disappoints. The hype is real. It's about to go down. The way he ended that chapter today, boys, was it not got you gassed?
One thing I can't wait for this actually, because Oden's just been teasing. We get silhouettes. We get his personality.
Playboy.
Yeah. We're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into
my guy.
He has a way of people gravitating towards him and the attraction of very, very influential people. I'll give you, if we're gonna say that, to the least.
And we're just gonna get a context of history of the actual One Piece world, the way it was dropped. But you know what? Before that, welcome back to Kozuki Corner. It's the boy Vim.
Yo.
It's the boy Rose.
Yo.
And I'm your boy Serge, even though I'm looking like ace now I'm playing. But we're about to drop our One Piece manga chapter review, Samurai 959.
Ooh.
And off the bat, there's a lot in this chapter to go through. He
Lot of
ties
information.
up a lot of loose ends before we
Lot
get
of
into this flashback. So that's what the chapter's about. He puts a lot into context, he fills a few gaps and has us guessing a few things for the future, and he does a great job of building hype. So, front cover, Capone and Lola. Not Lola, what's her name? Chiffon. Man, he's already cheated with the twin sisters. My bad.
He can't tell the difference, yeah? Is that what we did?
That's my excuse.
That's what we did.
Nah, Lola, Beige and Chiffon, they're in Dressrosa, and it's a beautiful picture because you can see the damage from the birdcage, all the rubble, like how it caved in. But what was really cool about this bit was you had Beige with his gun on guard. Now, my interpretation of that is there were some silhouettes in the far background. He senses something. I would assume that he can use observational haki. So far we haven't seen him on guard. He's on guard for a reason.
We've got to remember as well, though, he's entered a grounds where he can see there's destruction. So his guard's going to be risen to the point because of the fact that what's going on here? What in earth happened to this place for it to look like this? Because it was.
Well, he would know because it was on the news. Everyone knew that he beat. Yeah, no, he knows that. I think it's more to do with the enemies.
Okay.
So everyone knows that Doflamingo was taken down. Because that's how Luffy's bounty went up again.
Yeah, he's turned sideways as well. You can see the little cloud underneath his feet.
Yeah, man, it's real, man. It's real. So, it takes us back to 2 days before the ships and everything got wrecked, so we can kind of see what was going on. So, the first thing was we have the head count of all the ships being prepared. They've got 4,200 strong, and they're saying it's time to make our way towards a port discreetly, not get caught. Absolutely brilliant thinking. And to top it off, Luffy, Brook, and Chopper, man, do they not look good in those samurai Kabuto outfits?
Amazing armor. We need to invest in some Kabuto samurai armor.
Yeah, man, we'll come on one of our episodes dressed like that, man. Luffy's like, I'll definitely cut Kaido now. And the thing is, I want to know if there's some kind of meaning behind it. Like, he's not a swordsman, yeah? But beginning of the arc, he takes one of the Shisui blades, yeah? And he keeps talking about cut. Listen, leave that to Zoro. But is he going to do something?
Listen, can put a cut on him, why not?
You know what? Turn the blade this way. Gomo no, slash his face, man.
He doesn't need to throw it. He just needs to carry it along with his stretch, man. Just swing it at the guys.
Absolutely, and they cut in the fingers. What I thought was brilliant is they don't forget about the other guest member of the Straw Hats, Usopp. They're like, we can't wait to show this because all their eyes go starry and stuff. When they animate this, it's going to be super cool.
Definitely.
The next bit, I love it. It's been so long. Even though it's, I don't know if he belongs there, but the beef between Sanji and Zoro. Sanji looks at him, he's like, hey, you gonna wear any of that armor? He's like, no, it'll just slow me down. And Sanji's like, maybe you should, like, your bounty is smaller after mine. And Zoro's like, what? And slashes up a mountain, and then they both go to start fighting. I think there's more to this moment than meets the eye. And we all discussed this, and the biggest thing is, I think this is foreshadowing that whatever Zoro does, however far you believe whether he's going to take out King, whether he takes out one of the other commanders, or if he even gets involved in a fight with Kaido, Zoro is going to make a name for himself in this war because his bounty ain't staying. He's going to go back up to number 2 in the Straw Hat crew. I think his bounty is going to escalate to something like 1,500 million.
He's going to go to commander level, 100%.
Easily. But high commander level.
Yeah, very, very. To the point where it's like, what is Luffy in this world now? Because they're saying he's a 5th Yonko, but more so to the point where is this crew actually taking over another Yonko crew? Well, to the effect.
Off the bat, I think we can all agree. Luffy will be well over 2 billion if he doesn't touch close to 3 billion, yeah? Zoro, I'm gonna put at 1.5 after this, at least. And I think Sanji's gonna bust $1 billion too. It's about time he redeemed himself. Monster Trio.
It's a bit difficult, man.
No, and you know who else? Jinbei.
Jinbei.
Which brings us on to Luffy worrying about Jinbei this chapter. He says, Big Mom's here, but Jinbei is not. And Zoro just gives him that certain confidence that the guy's gonna come. I'm sure he'll be a great addition. So, again, it's just Oda being brilliant at building hype. It's like, okay, if she's here, where's Jinbei? Like, did Jinbei survive? But we all know that he must have. He is Nakama. He's a Straw Hat now. So it's just reminding us who's coming to town. And
when Jinbei comes, he's not coming alone. The question is who he comes with.
And who he helps come.
That's true. And don't forget, he has a lot of allies prior to being a Straw Hat member, including the Whitebeard crew. So who he meets along the way, and who he can bring himself, and potentially any Straw Hat Grand Fleet member.
And he's strong. As
very
hell.
strong, very
he
strong.
definitely would be in that monster trio.
Yeah, definitely.
He definitely bucked Sanji out there, man. Like, I'll tell you that now. But another key point here was we all gotta love Robin. She's not just pretty. She's the brains of the crew. She's the historian. And she was right next to Orochi. So she shares with the crew that she remembers Orochi saying that the entrance to Onigashima is always in winter. Now, we know the seasons are mad in Wano, but when you think towards the flashback, when was the first time we saw winter? At the time, we wouldn't have known that it's Onigashima, but when X-Drake was pursuing Kaido and looked to join his crew, we saw him walking through a winter terrain.
Definitely.
Now, what we've learned recently is that X-Drake is a member of SWORD, and I think it's plausible that he is going to backstab Kaido and he's going to join the alliance to fight them. He seems to have been the guy that helped let Law out. Is he going to give them another way into Onigashima? Is this a plausible expectation?
Yeah. You can't fault it, to be fair, considering the fact that the ends justify the means. To take out a predominant force like Kaido, you may have to join forces with a pirate, i.e. Luffy. Because, again, Luffy's character is another entity, like Oden, people have gravitated towards him because of the way he behaves.
Well, I mean, it's not the first time the Marines have done that. Fujitora and fight Dolphy.
There you go.
Do you understand? So that's not even something to worry about.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, big thing, another thing. We saw a conversation between the Minks. Inuyasha's Musketeers, Carrot, Hanko, and Wonder, I think it was there as well. And they were all saying like, okay, so the weather's cold, brilliant. That suits us. We've got fur. However, it's a toss-up whether we'll be able to use the Sulong form because it may be cloudy. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Now, we know that once it's a maybe, it's going to happen. Because one, it's going to need to happen for them to have some degree of strength to compete with that level of numbers and strength. But also, it's no accident that the Straw Hat that is in the panels with them is Nami. Now, if there was a problem with clouds, who's the weather forecast girl?
Nami.
And who has a best friend now that's a cloud? Zeus.
Nami.
So, if it's not allowed to, it's a little prediction, man. Yeah, it's cloudy. Nami brushes the clouds. Sulong party.
Jeez.
Ton up. And then the last part, 2 days ago, we see Kinemon's wife, Otsuru, in Okobore town, and they're covering to hold them for the alliance. They've all kind of figured out it must be the Scabbards that did it. Or if they're about, we can't let them get caught. Wow, let's all hold it down. And it leads to later in the chapter we find out that there's a report that the town was burnt down. Now, noticeably, which we're going to get onto other things that happen in this chapter, nothing was confirmed visually. We always see something about to happen, and then we either see smoke, we see flames, but we don't see no casualties or losses.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's an accident. I think it's all suspense building and something else happened, and it all worked out good for the alliance and the crew. That's just my take. What do you guys feel?
I think what you mentioned earlier was when you're reporting something, false reports can be given, and we've learned so far in the last few chapters even more so that false reporting is very predominant in the One Piece world.
Propaganda.
There you go. Because what it does, it creates panic in the masses and it subdues anyone to do anything out of context. Because if the other villagers hear of a reporting of a fire, they will then feel like we can't rebel. We can't do anything outside of our comfort zone. We just gotta be submissive and accept our fate. And that's the reality of the world of Yonko's empire, and even in the reality of One Piece when the world government want to do what they want to do. So in that context, it will be good to see it, but we won't just see it just yet. Suspense will be built, and all this brilliant like that.
Brilliant. Then we go to the day before, and Oda ties up the loose ends and lets us know exactly what went down. Orochi's a mastermind. You know, if anything, he doesn't strike me as someone with great combat strength. However, he has people that are strong around him, that are under him, that listen to him, and he's a master tactician. He went, first of all, he had some flying smile users attack the ships. Now, I'm going to relate this to the beginning where over the last few chapters, we kind of got like the concept of Frankie was making extra ships. Now, the flying smile users, they see the Sunny and all these ships in this little kind of valley, kind of in a sea cove, whatever you want to call it, and they attack it, they bomb it. We do not see the Sunny destroyed, which reminds me to Whole Cake Island, where you saw the flag in the water, was their great escape, and all these extra ships. Were they decoys?
Were the real ships not present? Are they hidden?
And if they were destroyed, do you believe Frankie can build them back up in time? I believe so. He knows what he was doing. I think they anticipated the attack. He then destroyed all the bridges and the ports. Also the ships that were at Port Itachi, where they were meeting, shows how they, this is where they were destroyed as well. So it kind of brings into context where, did Frankie place some of the ships there if the leak was revealed and they were aware that they were going to be attacked? Did they leave some ships so that these guys can feel like they successfully attacked them, but so they can commence their attack in another way and really truly surprise them? Now, in the One Piece world, many possibilities. Could have coated the ships and gone underwater.
Yeah.
Jinbei may have arrived with fishmen and that, man, I forgot the name of that big thing. That's the one. Take some ships in his big old mouth. Like, so many ways. And if we compare this war to Marineford, which is what it's comparable to, how did the Blackbeard pirates enter? Underwater, man. So something like that definitely is plausible that could have happened, man. Interesting point. Who is the suspect? Who is the snitch? Now, we're pretty certain that the person is one of the Scabbards because the information was leaked around Kinemon. So it had to have been one of the people that were with him. And there's many people that have come up as suspects. A few chapters ago was Shinobu because she was being so negative towards Law.
Yeah.
Was she trying to throw distraction? Some people are suspecting Inu Arashi. And you know what? As much as I don't like it, it's not unthinkable because the way he was so confident, let's get on the boat and let's go. And where it would work, and I don't think, now, off the bat, I don't think this is it, but where it could work is it sets up a grand fight between him and Nekomamushi, because they're sworn enemies. Possible, not impossible.
I think it's a bit of a reach in Irashi.
I agree.
That could divide the minks.
It did. Well, especially the night turn and the day turn.
They took a beating from Jack for Rising.
But there was a snitch amongst them that invited Jack to Zanisha, to Zoe. And this is why...
No, but there's a snitch amongst
the Minks.
The Minks and Wano completely together.
Yeah.
But, because you've got to remember, we still got to deal with the individual Scabbards who knew that Riser was going there.
Well, this chapter, you have to kind of pay attention. There's like a whole few panels where they're all moaning about, is this, Kinemon's giving a speech and Momonosuke's like, what am I to do? Choose for yourself, your dad was alone too. And there's speech bubbles around each, like words around each Scabbard, except for O-Kiku. Except for O-Kiku, it just says splash, splash, rumble, rumble. Now, it's either O-Kiku or, again, it's just Oda trying to deflect the attention to O-Kiku for us to suspect her before he just redirects us and drops on someone else. But I thought that was very interesting to know, interesting to pay attention to, and I'm putting O-Kiku as a suspect now as well. But the biggest part of this chapter, man, the Lord Oden Flashback. So many gems. Now, first of all, there's a speech. In order for the tides of this world to turn, we must open Wano's borders. The man is talking about the tides of the world to turn. So it's the impact of what's happened in the world, how the world's been for a long time. What can this possibly relate to?
The poneglyphs?
The Void Century?
Or the ancient weapons?
Ooh.
Or could it be all of them?
Or three? Jeez, is it? They're all intertwined. Intertwined,
interrelated, yes. And the thing about it is like, if what they say in the One Piece community is true and that we are really in the last quarter of One Piece, it would be a perfect opportunity to give us that education on the Void Century.
Explain, man.
And world history.
We need it.
Now, we know that the poneglyphs came from Wano. We know that, Kaido has gone to Wano for a reason.
Yeah.
And we know that Oden assisted the Pirate King.
Yeah.
So there's going to be some paramount information there that will be delivered to us.
Definitely.
Also to point out, we start 39 years ago now. It's no accident that 3 chapters ago when they dropped the incident at God's Valley, that was 38 years ago. So Oda is deliberately put in context 39, 38. So we're going to see the build up as to what was going on in the world up until the God Valley incident. We're going to see Oden's journey perhaps through the Whitebeard pirates, through the Roger pirates, and then eventually back into Wano to what he had to do. And then how his ultimate demise and clash with Kaido and Orochi. And I'm really looking forward to see how he sliced Kaido, because I'm sure he'll show us.
Yeah.
Like, I really get the feeling that this is going to be a really long flashback. So I think this is going to take us into the new year or just before.
Very, very influential in terms of what sets precedence of today's One Piece world. And all the information that we've been missing, the key little things that we've not been given enough in-depth versions of, we're going to get the answers.
And we're finally going to see what the man looks like. Hey, hide your daughters, hide your wives, hide the livestock. Man's going to eat. And I'm not going to say it. Man's getting down. And you know what? He's walking in there with his legs showing. You know what? Yeah. We've only seen a silhouette. But this guy's got to be sexy, man.
He's definitely walking around like he owns a place.
100% presence, man. King's Haki.
Exactly.
We're going to see it all.
Haki. Come on.
Now, guys, please let us know what you thought about this chapter in the comment section below. Is there anything we missed? Is there anything you feel we should have talked about? Let's chop up in the comment section. If you haven't already,
smash that subscribe button. Don't forget to leave a like. And don't forget to share the video. It helps us out quite a bit. But from Kozuki Corner, it's a...